Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is Wednesday. We got the numbers coming out. We're all excited to see what they look like. They keep on telling everybody that it's going to drop, so let's see if Mr. and Mrs. Inflation can drop. Hey, Robin. All good with the charts? And see, what else can we say about that? So we got about another minute, maybe 2 minutes, something like that, before it spits out. A little sweet sip of my tea. Let's see what else is going on. Overall, you can see the dollar index. Where's the dollar index? Right there. You see the dollar index moving down a little bit here today, playing with the sell side. You can see over in J4X for 2 days now, it's been red, and it's breaking underneath it today. So, maybe, what's that mean? If the dollar goes down, interest rates are going down, maybe? Something like that? I don't know. The fundamentals anymore don't mean a lot, so it's hard to interpret that stuff. But what we'll do is we'll see. And, they're going to come out with the numbers in a few seconds. We can show you how the stock market's going to react. We'll put the S&P 500 up there. Right there. There it is. And there's the S&P 500. You see right there, it's what do we got? That 29 right there. It's 1 or 2 seconds more, and it should come out. You see it pressing it up. So whatever number came out just now. Ooh, look at that fly! They just took it from 440 to 480, 480, 485. So they just took the S&Ps up 40 some odd points. I can't wait to see what they say about this number. This is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. And let's see what else we got going on there. Wonder what they did with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The Dow went from 32,800 basically to... Oh, they're still giving numbers there. Okay, and so the Dow lifted like 270 some odd points out of nowhere. Boom! It was like an explosion, and the S&Ps did it really well. And obviously the Tech 100, that's the most interest sensitive of all. It was at 13,100 and ran to 13,300. Here it comes. Here comes the numbers being explained. 8.5. So not down 0.2 but 0.4. So now all we need is the gas and the supermarkets and everything else to show the same characteristic as the Dow. Lower interest rates. Not lower interest rates. Lower inflation. Hooray! 8.5 versus 8.7. Let's jump on board and get excited, huh? Not. Okay, they're talking about the core. I'm trying to see what the core was. Core was 5.9. Estimated 6.1. So the 0.2 dropped there also at the same time. So, okay, Fed, you can lower rates now. Stop this raising of stuff. Let's go take a look at the bonds and see what the bonds are doing. I would have to assume that the bonds must be looking pretty good this morning. Right there, there's the 30-year. Not exactly rocketing, is it? It's just barely up and above. All right, and then, let's see what they did to the dollar index. Look at that, they smashed the dollar down. No increase in interest rates here. Free money as far as the eye can see. Hooray for us. More free money. Love it. Free money, free money, free money. And free money will obviously make the interest rates drive down, possibly. I don't know. Not the interest rates, the inflation. Never seen that before in history, but we'll see. I guess we have a few more months to go before we see what's going on here. 10-year yield is now at 2.68, down 9.9. Dow Jones Industrial Average almost up 400 points now. Wee. Crazy. All right. There we go. So let's get back to the currencies. You see the dollar index, that big drive down. Same here. And let's see what the euro looks like this morning. Yep, and the euro still in that daily buy and battling its way through. Let's put it up on J4X. There it is. So new cars were up and old used cars were down. So I guess the panic of supply chain is disappearing. And you can see here the euro 2 days now in the green. You see here it's been battling constantly for days now, 4 days. And the weekly is looking good. Let's see what the weekly looks like over here. There's the green. 2 weeks in a row we're seeing some strength here. And let's see, where's the numbers at? There we are. It's been climbing through at the same time. July consumer prices month over month unchanged. July core CPI also 0.2 lower. Core CPI 0.2 lower. And the actual CPI 0.2 lower. Now let's watch it come down at the supermarkets and at the gas stations. That's what we're worried about. Not the stats themselves, but that. All right. Where do we go from here? Let's jump over to the British pound. Right there. Same thing, a nice spike. This time this is in a buy. And the weekly's been in a buy throughout the last, since the beginning of the week. So it's kind of showing that British pound is showing a lot of strength in there. $3 days in a buy, right there. No, 3 weeks in a buy, I'm sorry. 3 weeks in a buy. So that's pretty cool. We're seeing some strength all around, really. Wow. Hooray for Mr. Biden. All right. So from there, where do we go from there? Consumer price inflation slows in July. Real wages continue to tumble. Huh. Real wages really continue falling down. 16 months of it now. Yeah, so they're talking about it now. Food prices should start to come down now. We'll see if it does. Let's take another sip of water and head over. We've got the cable up there now. So let's take a look at the euro. This should take the pressure off of that $18 area. 18 to the dollar. Right. Let me see the dollar. There it is. There it is. And today's high is 1796. Still holding up there. We're at 1793. So the dollar against the Turkish lira still is not letting go. Seems to keep on hanging tight in there. All right. From there, we'll put up on J4X. This will be the weekly, you'll see. See, it's been climbing and climbing and climbing, just like ours has been. And let's go to the daily. Climbing also. Interesting. I'm hearing they're still talking about it. They're finding it fascinating to be able to, see the unemployment, the inflation number come down. It's kind of like I just guessing. They'll take it apart more. They'll find what's good about it, what's bad about it, so forth and so on. All right, now let's go over to the euro Turkish lira. Oh, the tea is good this morning. Nice spike. There it is right there. So they're still taking this up. Interesting. So it's having no effect on the Turkish lira, even in the dollar. It's still having no real effect. It's not, I guess what? They would think that interest rates are coming down. Maybe they're paranoid that the inflation at 180% there is just going to get worse. We're saying the top line was expected. Let's see what they're doing in the oil. Food is up 11%. Interesting. All right, you can see there the oil is down just a little bit. And today's high, what was today's high? 90.70. It's just trading 90.33, just on the edge. They're talking to the number one grocer in the New York area. They're saying that they don't think this will really reflect better until after September. It's all right. It's a good number. That's all counts. Let's go over to... Let's see. Just wanted to get a flavor of the oil market. Instead now, let's go over to the Canadian. Because we can see that the oil is what? It's just up a little bit, up a few pennies. So we're figuring a Canadian might be going down against the dollar, something like that. Let's go check that out. There it is right there. Yep. So they're buying the Canadian and selling the dollar. You can see it right there playing with a sell. And I don't think we need to hear any more about that. All right. We lowered the volume on that one. And we've gotten through the stats. And the market is happy. And Doc is happy having his tea. All right. From there, the Canadian, as we see, this is going down. And oil is going up just a little bit. And that's what we're really looking for, is more strength in oil. And I think they took out the high now. I think it was 70. There you go. There's another new take out of the high. 85, 86. 87, 88s are high now. So they're buying oil. A little contrary to the stat. Interesting. All right. From there, we drift over to the yen. That's how we do the yen. There we are. And there's the dollar yen. Look at that nice down candle playing with the daily sell with no problem. Pressure is on there too. They are not letting that one loose either at the same time. The weekly is in a sell for 3 weeks. So with a daily sell and a weekly sell, looks like some opportunity on the downside here. And this is with the yen. That canary in the coal mine. Alrighty. The canary in the coal mine. Alright, from there we drift over to the peso. See what the peso's up to. Right there, dollar peso. Moving down. It's been in a sell for 5 days now, and under a weekly sell for the whole week. So they're going after the bottom end of the range again. It is curious how they do that, but they stay inside that range. It just shows the central banks and the level of control they have over, or the influence they have over the intraday markets and the daily markets and the weekly markets. They're very influential constantly. From there, you can see the weekly underneath, as I said before. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to start seeing, it'll play with the bottom end of the range, and we'll see if it can go challenge the lows of late May and June. That'll be something for us to watch now for a couple days. All right. From there, we drifted over to, I know what we missed, the South African Rand. Let's get the South African Rand up there. There it is right there. You see that's heading down, and I'd imagine you will see gold heading up. And there it is. It's heading up. It's been in that buy for a long while here now. The weekly jumped up through it and has not looked back. Kind of, you would think when inflation's coming down, you would think that the gold would be coming down. But no. I guess they're not a big believer of the inflation numbers yet. They'll learn next month when they find everything trading much higher. All right. From there, we jump over to silver. There's silver. Let's get it up on J4X. Right there. 3 days of solid buying there, just like us. It's been, they've been trying to take it up, and they're doing a good job about it. Silver, we keep on expecting a lot more out of silver than everybody expects, but we have to wait and see also. But at least we're in a weekly and daily buy now, so the daily buy and the weekly buy are justifying the position itself, and that's always nice, to have that strength confirming everything. So the gold traders who are out there selling the ETF, the options and so forth, and doing their thing, good for them. They'll be able to have a little bit more liquid market, because it's really nice to see an ebb and flow where it goes up and down instead of just down, 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 down. All right. From there, we go over to copper. Copper's doing the same thing. We think it's overbought in the old fundamental way of looking at it, but our math is trying to tell us no. It's even flirting with the weekly buy with no problem. Here it is Wednesday. So we'll be seeing, some of this strength probably through the end of the week. And that means basically there's going to be more buyers pushing it up than it is sellers. So copper and silver and gold are finding ways to go up. Normally we don't look at platinum. I'm just curious to see where it's at today. We don't, you can tune your ears out if you don't want to hear anything. They tried to push it into the sell, but couldn't get in the sell, and it's still lifting. Interesting. All right, now there's copper, as I said to you, and the weekly is piercing also at the same time. Read some tough stories on China. We always think China is kind of like the epicenter of copper. They build those ghost buildings and then they knock them down and start over again. It's kind of funny. I know it's not funny, but economically it's not feasible, but they do it anyway. So it's like, well, who cares as long as you built the building and you're getting ready to knock it down again, and then we'll go build it again. That was it. President Roosevelt had a policy like that. He would have them dig holes and then fill the holes in, in the same day. So, that's a classic leftist way of trying to grow economies is, you just go with some type of Marxist concept. And, they control the media, so they sing that song. They tell everybody, hey, look at this. Things are getting better. It's like, yeah, but oil is still $2.50 higher than when you opened up got elected. But, oh, well, whatever. All right, from there, we jump over to, it's the energies, so I guess let's do some energies here now. So we got and let's put Brent up there too. There's Brent on Chicago Quant. A little green yesterday and a little, trying to get into a buy like we were. And you can see now we are on the edge of flirting with it. It's come back and it looks like it's staying in a buy. Maybe they're going to get a run, I guess. All right. So from there, we drop back over to the currencies and we finish off with the charts of, that's not the currencies, there it is. And let's see what charts we have that we've actually paid attention to. I guess we've done all the currencies, really. I mean, unless you have a particular pairs trade like GBP, JPY or something. We'll jump more over to the metals. I guess what we can do now is jump over into the energies. So they trade synonymously, obviously, consistently the same way. How about it, Robin? Barely anybody here. I guess in the middle of the week, everybody needs a vacay from Doc. All right. From there, let's jump over to. We had the gold up there and we had the silver, and I looked at platinum just to see where it was at. Let me just double check it because I don't think I started talking again and got lost. Wrong place to look at it. There we go. Here we go. Oh, that looks pretty good. September. Oh, that's the NQs. That's not platinum. Platinum. There it is, right there in October. Yeah, they're lifting it up, acting pretty well in here. All right, from there, let's see. Let's jump over to the metals complex. Since the oil seems to be, I guess, resting at the moment for the new members to reappear and so forth. And there is a scene where they're at a camp, what do they call it, a Grange camp. And the kids have all kinds of puppets and stuff, and they're trying to communicate to the character that the fellow who's running the puppet. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, and that's something. It's kind of quiet today. All right. From there, let's take a look at the energies. We saw crude there. Crude is back underneath 90. And let's take a look at right there. You see there, it's been holding up really well in the back month crude. It doesn't want to let go. It's, you know, there's buying it. There's a comfort level in buying it. They had the OMB director under Trump up there talking. He's usually a pretty good guy to listen to. Mulvaney or something? No, not sure what his name is. Office of Management and Budget in Congress. That's what that is. They try to explain how the gains are going to occur, or the losses, or whatever. All right. From there, we're looking at. What are we looking at here? We're looking at. Oh, that's the Nasdaq 100. How did we get into that? Let's put the back month in. Yeah, let's try that. Huh. What's going on there? There it is right there. So let's go back to there. That's better. There's the back month. It also has dropped from being plus to minus, but it's still in the weekly buy. I'm sorry, the daily buy. Still in the daily buy. And that's what we're waiting for when it comes to the gold on the, you know, the front month or the expiring contract this week, and we're looking for it to be in the positive. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. All right, and you can see there Brent, you know, doing the same thing, just having a little digestion of it, a little red, just like we're seeing right here. It's got a little red going on there. And this should stop climbing soon and start to curve, unless they really do start to lift this thing and not let go of it. I don't know why they would lift it. I don't see any particular reason. The inflation number was fine. There's no particular reason to want to buy something denominated in dollars like that. All right. Alrighty. Let's see. From there, we'll jump over to natural gas. And there's natural gas. And it's been flirting down for the last couple of days, and today it's in a sell also. But throwing a green dot on there at the same time with the red, so I'm wondering if that means we're going to see some volatility over the next 2 to 3 days. Let's see what it looks like over on J4X. Right there, 7.8 and change. And let's see what the dollar Mexican peso was it the dollar. Let's see, where's it at? Let's take a look at the European natural gas. Natural gas Europe, there it is. 27.85, still holding just underneath that that number. It just doesn't let go of it. And that's the natural gas going up there. You can see it. You know, it's feeling the weakness too. You can see it's curving down, but the weekly is hanging in there. You know, they could punch it hard over the next 2 days. We'll see, and you know, see if they. It's nice just to see European natural gas in the 27s. I really hate it when it keeps on lifting, and we've gone from 20. It went from like 29 down to like 25, and now back up around the number itself of 27 and change. Alrighty. I think that's about it. Did we look at heating oil or something like that? No. You know what? We have heating oil on there. Let's show you heating oil. It's up to date. And it's sliding into a sell as we speak today. We thought that was a really poor move yesterday. And we'll see how heating oil goes. I doubt they'll be lowering it too much. But this helps the diesel trucks out because HO is the pricing they use to price the futures contract in the trading pit of the NQs. Another sip of the tea. All right. And that pretty much, wow, we're really moving fast today. All right, that's finishing off the energy sector. There we are. Heating oil, showing life. Life in the pursuit of happiness. And, they're not letting go of the stock market. Stock market is holding up nice and fine here, up 422 points, 23 points. Hold on very well. All right. From there, let's go over to... Let's see, we've done heating oil and natural gas, so not bad. Let's go over to... We did the metals. So we've done the energies, we've done the metals. Let's see what the stock market's doing. We'll put that up there, right there. You see the all-time, not the all-time, but the high today is 33,195, and it's trading last at 45. So that's like 50 points. That's background noise, especially when you're talking about a family trust. Okay. All right. From there, let's go over to look at the daily. Oh, that's not it. Okay, I gotta move this over like that. There we are. There is the British pound on a day-to-day basis. Is that what we're looking for? No, we're looking for the contract itself, so that would be the S&Ps. There we are. Let's put it up around J4X. Let's see, where are you hiding? No, where is it at? It's right here somewhere. Nope, don't see it. Well, I told them to, I said, a good way is to just buy some more on a very slight angle. In other words, not a full amount of whatever your dollar cost averaging is right now, but just a little nibble here and there still. Because this market just keeps on marching up, which means you're making money from it. You may not be 100% invested, but then who cares? As long as you're making money, that's all that counts. All right. Let's get the S&P in there. S&P. Right there. And then we'll take a look at the NASDAQ. They're all holding up. I mean, NASDAQ yesterday played with the daily sell. It went into a daily sell yesterday. You can see here today it is turning around and taking it up. And the weekly's still intact, so you could never be short to begin with. And then we'll take a look at the Dow. Dow seems to be the same way, up firm. And let's take a look at it on a short-term basis. Let's see, where are you? Right there. You can see it's holding up at the top end of the range even better than most. And sometimes that's the way it works, especially with all the stocks that the NQ has, which is 100 of them, and when you look at the S&P 500, they have 500 of them. So it becomes a little bit of a confusion on how to, pay attention to something important when you're watching all this. It's probably smarter to watch the stocks than it is to watch the indices. As much as I can say that, we were in a sell and it went down, and now we're in a buy and it went up. So look how tight the intraday is. Oh, what do we got here? Guess as long as interest rates. Someone just texted me and asked, says the market is forward-looking of the economy. Yet, given the poor state of the current economy, the weak outlook, can that still be true? Guess as long as interest rates stay low, what say you, market genius? How nice. Well, first of all, I'll give them a why thank you. Sharp. Let's get that in there. I am sharp. Like a round ball. All right, now the second part is the market is forward-looking economy, and I really believe at this point in time, forward-looking economy more on political change. I think that's what the forward-looking really is. Political. Political. There you go. So the forward-looking of the economy more on political than it is more than lower inflation. There we are. And then let's see, what else is there? The current economy and weak outlook can that still be true? Well, we measure, I guess you could say we measure real time. So the idea there is measure, let's see if we got that right. Measure real time there we are, TIM, and it's hard to see this news great. Let's see, right, there we are. But proof will be at the pump and store for food. There we go. Don't always get a written one to me like that. All right, so that cleans up that. All right, so from there, let's see, but proof will be at the pump and the store to food. All right. So from there, we've seen the currencies, and they do seem to be picking up much more action, like the stocks are, compared to other times where we see good news come out or interesting news come out, and they take it up a little bit, and we'll see how they hold up. But right now, I think the markets are looking politically at things, not at the economic numbers themselves. I think that's how it's playing out in my head. At least that's the way I see it. If anybody else out there doesn't see that, it's okay. You can tell me what you think that's really the influence, but that's how I see it. That seems to be the influence to me. Let's see. Right. That's pretty much it now when it comes to those things. And we've seen the stock in. Let's get back to the stock indices. We'll put them up on the four-way like that. And you can see they're all holding up pretty well. Let's make the S&P a little more control. Oh, that's the Dow. So the Dow just shows lots of strength. The S&P right here, it's doing the same thing really. It's big long range. Same thing probably right here on the what do they call it, the NASDAQ 100. Remember, they represent interest rates much more than anything else. I mean, than any of the other indices, because their stocks are really punished by higher interest rates and rewarded with lower interest rates. They're very cash heavy. That's why we created the accounting concept of EBITDA and DIBIDA. I know they sound stupid, but they were created for those NASDAQ stocks because they were big companies and their numbers didn't match fundamentals. So they had to take a look at EBITDA. I believe is like something like EBITDA is like it's like looking at their earnings before taxes and before interest rate payments, that type of thing. EBITDA and DIBIDA. And so they're trying to look at a company, not how they're going to get taxed, but how much they actually brought in before they got taxed. And that's how we started paying attention to these, other currencies that way, and accounting concepts, and stocks, everything. Well, not currencies, they don't really have an earnings. They have inflation, and they have, growth or lack of growth. That's what the old fundamentals were there in the currencies. But when it comes to, here you go. Here's George. Let's see what George says. Just watching silver lose all its gains. Did it really? Again, as usual, gold from 730 blow off. Let's check that out. I'm glad you mentioned that. Here's silver. Yeah, it's still up for the day, but barely hanging on. But look at the weekly and the daily. They're still fine. So it's just a buying opportunity at the moment. And when it comes to the gold, same situation. They're still up a little bit or flat, but the weekly looks firm. As long as it's in the weekly and the daily, it looks all right to me. And that gave you an opportunity to get in and get out. That's the one thing we think that the politics is going to clean up. We really do, George. We've been really convinced that the games that the Federal Reserve has been playing are going to be curtailed. The Congress can come in and say no, and I think that's really going to happen. I know it's a pipe dream by many, but I think between now and Mr. Trump getting elected, that at least that's the attitude, and that's the most important thing of all, is that's what their attitude is. Yeah, I know. I hear you. Are you long the metals on a short-term basis or a longer-term basis, or not at all? Or let's see what copper did. Copper was looking very, very strong. It still is. So they're not backing off the copper. I can't imagine it not changing a little bit somewhere along the line. I really believe that. I really believe that that's the hope of a lot of us. We call it the cavalry coming to the rescue. we're really hoping that the adults get in charge again. And the spending of $3 or $4 trillion more than Mr. Trump did is crazy. They need to stop that, and they need to start paying down the literally the debt. And they got to do something. They got to show that they can be responsible. Right now, with our socialists in charge and China's communist in charge, it looks like a crazy circus act. They challenge things that make no sense, challenging the word, what a recession. I saw someone this morning, again, out of the White House say, if we're in a recession, we'll know soon. It's like everybody knows it's in a recession. So, we really need the adults to be in charge again. All right, from there, let's see, where do we go? So silver and gold are being pushed down a little bit here. Nothing major, but, it is, they're... Well, let's put it this way. There's opportunity. You got gold trading. Where's gold at? Let's put it up on the screen again. We're going to put silver up on J4X. We'll put gold up on Chicago Quant. There's silver. And here is gold. I myself think that was just an opportunity to take some profits. Nothing more than that. And you got to imagine, if you've been buying... Look, this thing's been in a daily buy for, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like 15 days. So you got to figure there's some longs in there that have been like, hey, this thing went from 17 and a half or 17.40 up to 18 and change. We got to take some of that. I mean, what's today's high? Like 18.22 or 24, something like that. 18.24.6, almost 18.25. So you got, $75 win. You got to take some of it. Obviously there's going to be a time where it won't work, but right now it seems like you can sell gold and buy it back cheaper constantly. I was really surprised when we saw silver break underneath the $22 area. It was like, whoa, wow, surprised me. And that's pretty much been the situation ever since, it can't hold on to the real values, and the paper money is more expensive. In other words, the paper money is cheaper on the exchanges, but if you go to buy it, it's really hard to get it executed at your price, and at the same time, they've got the the metals have no clear direction with that whole situation. That's really what it comes down to. Metals. I think we labeled this yesterday as metals webinar too. So you got to take some profits. I think you can buy it a little bit cheaper here. It's the weekly is trying, as you can see on Chicago Quant. The weekly has got a circle around it, and I'm not afraid of them taking some profits. You got to figure they have to. With the Federal Reserve the way it is, you never know when they're going to come in and pound the daylights out of it. You see it too, like 40, 50,000 contracts trade at once out of nowhere. Who has that type of power besides the Federal Reserve? Maybe a bank that the Federal Reserve gave money to, something like that. Really. All right, so that pretty much takes care of the metals and the energies, and we've looked at the stock indices. I think we'd looked at the stock indices in the sense of, let's just look at the dailies real quick. So there's the NASDAQ, doing fine, looking like it's climbing back into the buy. It slid in the sell yesterday by the hair of its chinny chin, and the weekly is intact with no problem. And same thing with the S&P 500. Weekly is intact, and the daily tried to get into a sell here this morning and failed at it. Right there, and now it's trading at the top of this range right there, and then the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there, trying to do the same thing, play with that top. The weekly is nice and intact, so with all those things telling us that, there's no reason to be too nervous about it all. In other words, buy the weakness, and at the same time, Mr. Powell is not going to raise rates, at least not until the first week of September. We're not even convinced he'll do that. He may just turn around. He's already made it clear. He could turn around and say, I need to see the numbers in November or late October and go from there. All right. Not too bad so far. All right. From there, we've done it all. So what is one of... If nobody wants to see anything out there, then I'll go hunt something down. It could be very interesting to look at. I'm trying to think what is well worth looking at. Let me see. Saw an interesting story. Let me show you this interesting story. It was a weird one about China. We always, we learn so much more, through the stories than we do anything else with China. Okay, here we go. And let's see, Fang Space joins the club. Let's see. Let's see. Hillary Clinton was fundraising after they raided Mr. Trump's house with hats and merchandise and fundraising. All right, where's it at? I saw this really interesting story about China. It really caught my eye. Let's see, there it is right there. Here's one of them. I saw two of them that really caught my eye. Here it is right there. Mixed and relative contained trade pre-U.S. CPI inflation. That wasn't the one I was thinking about, but it said it better. There was another one. Let me go in here and look for it. Let's see. Not there, not there, not there, not there, not there. Is that it? Oh, here it is. Something doesn't add up. There it is. Something just doesn't add up in Chinese trade data. So it says here, the unusual discrepancy has showed up in two sets of trade data. An unusual discrepancy. Okay, cool. And data. And depending on which official source you use, China's trade surplus could either be overstated or under by reported a staggering 166 billion over the past year. Wow. Does that sound like they're working out of some like X's checking account? No official bank account? What's going on there? China watchers cannot fully explain this mystery. It's as if the Chinese residents bought a lot of stuff overseas and instead of shipping the items home, they were kept abroad for some reason. Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Forward-looking of economy more or on political? Yeah, change of government. Government policy. That person just asked that question again. Which will affect economic. There we are. Change of government policy which will affect economic. There we are. So yeah, that's this Chinese thing looks kind of interesting. It really does. Looks very fascinating. We can go and explore that again tomorrow, but I thought that just jumped out. So so they're saying basically it looks like they're buying goods, but they're not bringing them back to China. Well, maybe they have summer homes in other places. All right. What else we got going on? I guess that's about it. And we're going to call it a little quits here today. And we will see you again tomorrow on Thursday. So, with no questions out there, and me trying to put one together, and we've done about 55 minutes as it is now, so we will call it quits and start over again tomorrow, same time, same channel. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, catch you on Thursday. Ta-ta for now.